Hello, I'm Ben, and when I was a kid, Barney had to actually put effort into getting Fred's cereal. Well, we're still in the month of June, which I have declared is Looney Tunes month. Now, it's time for me to do a video that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. It's time for me to list my favorite Looney Tunes cartoons. You should know, this is quite possibly the hardest list I've ever had to make. I tried my best to write down my favorite Looney Tunes cartoons, but a lot of them didn't stay on the paper that long because I did a lot of erasing. However, after 5 sleepless nights, I finally compiled a list of my 20 favorite Looney Tunes cartoons. Keep in mind, these aren't the cartoons that I felt changed the face of animation forever. These are just my favorites. When I chose my favorites, I was looking at the things that make Looney Tunes good. Characters, animation, music, and of course, humor. So, sit back and get ready for a blast of looniness. Here is my top 20 favorite Looney Tunes cartoons. Number 20, Back Alley Uproar. Directed by Friz Freleng, this cartoon is a remake of another Friz Freleng cartoon, Notes to You. This cartoon is about how Elmer is falling asleep for the night, but Sylvester picks this night to sing right outside of Elmer's house. Sylvester's singing keeps Elmer up, and Elmer tries his best to shut Sylvester up. I love this cartoon because it's one of the few cartoons where Sylvester's not trying to chase after Tweety, Speedy, or Hippity Hopper. All he's trying to do is sing, and for a cat, he's a really good singer. Also, in Friz Freleng fashion, the timing of the gags are perfect, and they have you rolling over with laughter. So, Back Alley Uproar is a great cartoon with great music and great gags, and is an excellent start to the list. Number 19, Rebel Rabbit. Directed by Robert McKimson, this is quite possibly the oddest Bugs Bunny cartoon ever created. One day, when Bugs is walking in the woods, he finds out that rabbits are only worth 2 cents for a bounty. This, of course, angers him, and he goes to the game warden to find out why. The game warden tells him that rabbits are harmless, so there's no need for their bounty to be so high. This angers Bugs more, as Bugs sets out to prove that rabbits can be dangerous. So he goes all over America, causing as much trouble as possible. Like I said, this is the oddest Bugs Bunny cartoon ever, but that's why I love it. Bugs isn't acting like the nonchalant rabbit we know him as in this cartoon. He's acting like a total jackhole. Robert McKimson specialized in making cartoons with Bugs acting aggressive, and this cartoon is great proof of that. It's great seeing Bugs acting like an anti-hero, and the ending of this cartoon is priceless. So, Rebel Rabbit is a cartoon that proves you don't mess with rabbits. Just ask the cast of Monty Python. Number 8, Louvre Come Back to Me. Directed by Chuck Jones, and is Pepe Le Pew's last theatrical cartoon. In this cartoon, Pepe is once again after Penelope Cat, who he mistakes as a skunk. This time, he pursues her throughout the best art museum in the whole world, the Louvre. I tried to add diversity to this list, so I knew I had to pick a Pepe Le Pew cartoon. It was hard to choose which one, so I decided on this one because this one made me laugh the most out of the cartoons he was in. The gags are top notch, as it's fun watching how all the art reacts to Pepe's stench. The ending is so funny that I don't want to spoil it for you. You have to see it for yourself. Bottom line, this cartoon is my favorite Pepe cartoon, as it further proves that love stinks. Number 17, Rey Meow. Directed by lesser-known Looney Tunes director Art Davis. In this cartoon, a smart parrot named Louie lives with a dumb cat named Heathcliff, and when the owner of the 2 pets dies and leaves millions of dollars to Heathcliff, Louie tries his best to kill Heathcliff and take the money. I'm a sucker for Looney Tunes cartoons that star one-shot characters, and this one is one of my favorites. Both Heathcliff and Louie are incredibly hilarious characters. I actually wanted to see Louie succeed. It's just so funny seeing that no matter how hard Louie tries, nothing can kill Heathcliff. Also, in great Looney Tunes fashion, the ending is a real gut buster. So, Rey Meow is an underrated cartoon that should be seen by every single Looney Tunes fan. Number 16, Nightmare Hare. directed by Chuck Jones, and is quite possibly the most epic Bugs Bunny cartoon made. Bugs reads about King Arthur and his knights. However, an apple hits his head and knocks him out, and he dreams of medieval times, as he has a jousting match with a knight, has a fight with a dragon, and has a humorous interaction with Merlin the Wizard. I love this cartoon because it's also a cartoon you don't hear much people talk about. When people think of Bugs Bunny cartoons that take place in medieval times, they think of Nighty Night Bugs. But I think this cartoon is superior. The colors are very bright, the dialogue is great, and, like I said, this is the most epic Bugs Bunny cartoon ever. I haven't seen any other cartoon where Bugs gets in a fight with a dragon. A freaking dragon! Not to mention, this cartoon has a twist ending that would make Rob Serling say, "Whoa, I didn't see that coming." Anyway, Nightmare Hare is a great cartoon that proves that Bugs Bunny is a force to be reckoned with. Seriously, he fights a dragon! A freaking dragon! Number 15, I Love to Singa. Directed by Tex Avery, this is one cartoon that you would expect Tex to be the last person to direct. This cartoon is a parody of the classic movie The Jazz Singer, as an owl named Al Jolson is born in a family that hates jazz music, but that's all Al Jolson wants to sing, and it gets to the point where his father throws him out of the house and he pursues his dream as becoming a jazz singer. I love this cartoon because it's one that I remember since childhood. I remember the classic cartoon show Toon Heads airing this a lot, and I've always loved watching it come on. I love the colors, I love the characters, and I love the song that this cartoon is named after. I love to sing about the moon and the June and the spring. I love to sing about a sky of blue or T4 That's so freaking catchy! In fact, the song has become a staple of pop culture as it's used a lot in several shows and movies. One reference that comes to my head off the bat is the first episode of South Park, where this is the song that Cartman sings when he's zapped by the alien's laser. Also, this is a Tex Avery cartoon, and although this cartoon has less gags than his other cartoons, you can expect the few gags that are in this cartoon to be very, very, very funny. So, I Love to Singa is a great cartoon that proves that Looney Tunes can still be good, even when they're not relying on a whole bunch of gags. Number 14, Hide and Go Tweet. Directed by Friz Freleng, and is hands down my favorite Sylvester and Tweety cartoon. Sylvester is once again chasing after Tweety. This time, however, Tweety lands in the lab of Dr. Jekyll, and he accidentally drinks one of his formulas. This turns him into a monster from time to time, and Sylvester ends up being chased by Tweety's monster counterpart. I love this cartoon because it's a lot different from all the other Sylvester and Tweety cartoons. Usually, Sylvester is causing himself to get hurt, but in this one, Tweety's actually doing a lot of the abuse himself. It's actually a break from the norm to actually see Tweety being threatening. Plus, I love cartoons with a Jekyll and Hyde plotline, and this one is a perfect example of that. Plus, the gags are well timed and the music is top notch. It's got all the aspects that make Looney Tunes great. So, Hide and Go Tweet is a cartoon that proves that even the cutest cartoon characters can become deadly. Number 13, Book Review. Directed by Bob Clampett, this has his name written all over it. It's late at night at a bookshop, and all of the books literally come to life and fill the room with elements from each book, with the complete works of Shakespeare making factory noises, to the sea wolf howling at good-looking girls. All this noise ticks Daffy off as he comes out of a Looney Tunes comic and fills the room with his own singing, until the big bad wolf starts chasing after him. I love this cartoon because I love all the gags that come from all the different books. This is also a cartoon I watched a lot as a kid because I had it on a tape that also contained several other Looney Tunes cartoons. Even though Daffy's character is shoved in at random, he doesn't take away from the cartoon. In fact, I think the cartoon gets better when he appears. I love his musical number, and he's a really good singer. I can listen to him singing all day. Plus, it's a Bob Clampett cartoon. It has great animation, wacky gags, and sheer craziness that he's known for. You can't go wrong with Book Review. Number 12, The Whole Idea. Directed by Robert McKimson, this is one of the later Looney Tunes cartoons. This cartoon follows a scientist who invents a portable hole, which is a hole that you can carry anywhere and use it for anything. The cartoon then picks up as a robber steals the hole and humorous situations happen from there. I love this cartoon because it has one of the most unique stories for a cartoon that I've ever seen. A cartoon about a hole that you can carry around anywhere? How awesome would that be? Since this cartoon's release, the portable hole has also been a cartoon item that has popped up in pop culture, most famously in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Plus, I also love what it took to make this cartoon. Did you know that Robert McKimson animated this whole cartoon by himself? Say what you want about McKimson, but that's freaking fantastic. I can't think of any other cartoon director that animated one of their cartoons completely by themselves. Plus, the cartoon has one of the darkest, yet one of the funniest endings to any Looney Tunes cartoon. So, the whole idea is an underrated cartoon and one of the most original Looney Tunes cartoons ever. Number 11. Little Red Walking Hood. Directed by Tex Avery, this is the oldest Looney Tunes cartoon to make the list, and is a parody of Little Red Riding Hood. This cartoon takes place in the modern age of the 1930s, as a wolf sees Little Red Riding Hood walking down the sidewalk and falls in love with her. Kinda creepy, but the cartoon gets funny and makes you forget all about the hidden pedophilia. The wolf then heads to Grandma's house and proceeds to chase her in a comedic fashion until Red arrives at the house. I love this cartoon because it's a Tex Avery cartoon for starters. That alone would be enough for me to put it on this list, but there's more to it that I love. I'm a sucker for fairy tale parodies, and Looney Tunes were the king when it came to fairy tale parodies. Plus, since this is a Tex Avery cartoon, it has all those cartoony gags that he is known for. Plus, this cartoon is a delight to look at because the animation has pretty colors, and the backgrounds are painted with watercolors. That's beautiful. And the best way I could describe this cartoon is, think of Hoodwinked, without Jim Belushi, without that annoying squirrel, without a stupid crime case, and if it was shorter, was 2D animated, and was actually funny. That's this cartoon. Bottom line, Little Red Walking Hood is a cartoon that hasn't been looked at much by the public because it doesn't contain any of the well-known characters, but it's worth a look if you're a die-hard Looney Tunes fan. Well, there's my top 20 Looney Tunes cartoons. Wait a minute, that was only 10! Crap! I wanted to make a top 20 list, but I only have time for 10 cartoons! Normally, I would tell you not to panic. But in this case, panic! Or, instead of panicking, oh, you already did that. Well, if you survived the panicking, never fear. I will just have to continue this list another day. And trust me, my top 10 will be so loony, it would make this list blush. Anyway, I'm Ben, and I'm signing out. I'm gonna go clean up flaming debris.